Vice President Engineering, Product Development, Blue Yonder. Mr. Chandradeep Bandyopadhyay, Vice President Engineering, Product Development, Blue Yonder. Do we have Mr. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Chandradeep Bandyopadhyay. Thank you.
Hello, welcome everyone. Hello, am I audible? Hi, welcome everyone. So there was a great session some time back. We had a panel which talked about the face of retail in India. So I'm going to talk about the retail consumer, and I'll speak for around a few minutes, so it should be a quick and fast session. So we are all consumers, right? And as consumers, what we want is that as a retailer, you understand me and my needs. You know who I am, you understand me to the extent that I want you to know me, and then you work with me on that. And you focus on my convenience. A lot of us as consumers, have had the experience that sometimes you're focused on your operations. As a retailer, we are focused on how to make our operations efficient, how to make it easy for our associates. But the key is to make it easy for me as a consumer. And then the final thing is to make me feel special. Okay, so this is the essence of retail, right? That the reason I am there sometimes is to just fulfill a need, but sometimes it's also to fulfill my wants. And that is the essence of what a consumer wants to do. So if we as retailers or as enablers for retailers are able to take care of our consumers, a lot of other things fall into place. So given this, what should retailers focus on? So there is a way to achieve that. In the days when retail was very personalized, you could have shoppers working directly with consumers. That is not scalable anymore. So the focus is hyper-personalization. And what does that mean? It means that even though you want hundreds, thousands, millions of people coming into your stores, coming into your online sites, they still individually must feel that they are individuals doing that. You are not just one more click, one more footfall. You are somebody who's distinct as an individual coming in. So how do you achieve personalization at scale? And the answer for that is usually, is using all the data that we have and to be able to actually talk to the consumer as an individual. Some of it has data implications, some of it has privacy implications. But finally, if you can actually make them feel important, make them that their needs are being heard, people will often be willing to share that data in return for that extra service. The other one is digitization of stores. There was a lot of discussion in the panel about it, as to how online and offline happens. Recently I had an experience. I walked into a store. I will not name this store, and I was explaining that, hey, on my phone, I can see that you have this online. And in the store, they could not check that on their own systems. And then, this is the most amazing part of it. The store associate said, you do one thing. They spoke to me in Hindi and said, "Aap ek kaam kijiye, ye baaju mein," and they mentioned another retailer who is a competitor of this, a big retailer, maybe a sponsor of this event as well. Unke store mein jaiye, unka na sab kuch dikhta hai. And then I was a bit surprised that actually this person who's speaking to me as a sales associate is actually talking to me as a consumer, that they find that experience better. So finally, digitization of stores, where people can feel that they have walked into an extension of their online world, is critical. And the final thing is ecosystem e-commerce, which is, it can't just be about making a sale. It has to be about knowing the consumer. It has to be about knowing, what they are doing, what are they using the products for. For example, I think there was somebody from Puma over here on the panel before. So I had spent some time at Nike, and one of the interesting things that companies like Puma and Nike, which are actually feeding a lifestyle, want to do is, I just don't want to only know whether you are using what you are purchasing from me. I also want to be part of the experience after that. Like, should I have an event where I organize a marathon and where I invite you because you like to, be participant in all of this. So that's part of understanding the whole consumer. So finally, these are the things we talked about. what the consumers want, and we talked about what retailers should be doing. And I'll just give you an overview of how we as a company, how Blue Yonder as a company, helps to manage that entire ecosystem. So what we have found is the only way to actually go to a consumer and actually work with them at scale is to have an end-to-end view of the data in the supply chain and to be able to process that data at scale. So one of the advantages that Blue Yonder has as a supply chain company is we have an end-to-end suite right from planning, from business planning, from supply chain planning, right up to execution and commerce. So we can actually work across this whole ecosystem, and all of it is SaaS, and it also gives us an ability to channel that data to the service of the retailer. So if you're interested to know more, I'll not go into each of these and explain. If you want to know more, we are at booth 7 over here. Talk to us, and we'll be happy to talk to you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chandradeep Bandyopadhyay. Could you please stay back on stage for a moment as I request Mr. Balaji, Managing Director, Naidu Hall, to kindly present you a memento, a token of appreciation and gratitude. Thank you, Mr. Chandradeep Bandyopadhyay. Thank you, Mr. Balaji, for doing the honors. We now have a presentation on IoT basis centralized monitoring to improve retail operation efficiency. And to make the presentation, we've got Mr. Pankaj Zawar, Managing Director, Integrated Active Monitoring Private Limited. Please welcome Mr. Pankaj